Hello, everybody. I think we are recording. Okay, so this is a follow-up to my little reading for America when I said that America was having another Pluto return, because as you know, they had their first Pluto return on the 22nd of the 2nd, 22. Pluto has now gone retrograde, and on the 12th of July, they had another return. And I said to you, let's see what's going to happen. Is there going to be a big event? Now, there didn't seem to be, but it turns out there was. So I'm going to discuss that event, why it's crucial, and why it plays into everything I've said is going to be happening in America in terms of civil war, breakdown in society, and potentially a change of president or something happening with Biden. Just to recap, I did do a prediction, it must have been just after the election, anyway, and which of course was totally legitimate. And I said that there was a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction after the election that December. And not every time, but there's been this frequent theme in astrology where when there's a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction at the beginning of a presidency, that president doesn't finish his term. He either dies in office or gets assassinated. So it seems increasingly likely to me that something like that might happen, particularly as, look, this whole situation with Joe Biden's becoming totally ludicrous. He goes over to Saudi Arabia. There's a problem. He's speaking to MBS there. Please increase the oil supply. No, they don't mind saying no to him. He's got no leverage. He's got no power. They don't take him seriously. Then the press, did you mention Khashoggi? Remember Jamal Khashoggi, who went into the Turkish embassy to sort out his certificate to get married? Brutally slain in the most dramatic of terms. No, he says he mentioned it. Turns out he didn't really. So, this situation's becoming untenable. But enough of that. Let's talk about what happened at the Pluto return on the 12th of July, and let's project forward. This is the chart for the next Pluto return, which is around the 18th of December. So now Pluto is retrograde. It made a return on the 12th of July. It's going to turn around, head back, and the 18th of December. So look out for late December for momentous events in terms of the US election, right? US events in America, events with Joe Biden, whatever's going to go on. So let's come more to what happened on the 12th of July this year. It's here. No, we do not want to know. Washington Times, and here we've got the article. Schiff seeks rule that would block oversight of some military operations. The article goes on, but I'm going to cut to the chase with you. And if you were watching Alex Jones, he covered it significantly yesterday, and he said this is one of the biggest events he's ever covered. So we're all anticipating that come the midterms, the Republicans are going to take the House. So normally, Congress would have oversight over all military operations at home or abroad. Now, Schiff wants to stop that, but only for military operations at home, i.e. martial law. So apparently, when Alex was digging into everything that this would entail, this is kind of a tag-on to their spending bill. I don't know how this happens in America, but every time they have a new spending bill, they tack a whole lot of other unrelated things to it. He basically, Schiff wants to remove congressional oversight for military operations at home, which would effectively make Joe Biden, or whoever controls Joe Biden, or whoever steps in for Joe Biden in December. They are saying maybe Gavin Newsom, because of course Kamala is so unpopular, or whoever it will probably be strongly controlled by Nancy Pelosi. But it would effectively make Biden, or whoever steps in, a dictator, because then they can authorize military operations, i.e. martial law, on home soil without congressional oversight, which means if the Republicans take the House, they've got no say in the matter. They can't halt it. So he can deploy the military. Why would he do that? Well, we already know that people who are kind of Trump supporters and such like are already deemed potential domestic terrorists. We know from the January 6th hearings how they look on those people who were involved in a very, very minor protest that day where there was nothing really major done, but look how they have been treated. We are seeing that side of the debate, the sort of Trumpian, conservative, pushbacker side being demonized. This is more part of that, and Alex Jones feels this is the beginning of the end of the Civil War. This means a declaration against those people that they will be coming after them. And this congressional thing, I think in this article here, I can just show you, Adam Schiff. It says here, the Washington Times, Monday, July 11. So it was actually sort of on the 11th going into the 12th. So an extremely significant event in America, considering the Pluto return and considering I've long predicted that America is going to have civil war. There's going to be a massive deterioration in terms of what's going on in that country. Now, if we just go back to America's chart here, there's another significant transit, and that's in December. Neptune will be at 22 degrees here of Pisces, and it will be opposing the natal Neptune at 22 degrees of Neptune 22 degrees of Virgo, which is also in the midheaven. Now, I say why America as a country has suffered so many assassinations, I mean, they've had a lot of them, is because of Neptune here on the midheaven. Neptune is a planet often associated with assassination, sacrificing oneself for the nation. It's also about intrigue, plots, and conspiracy to murder. So does that mean that on late December, as there's another Pluto return and as Neptune is opposite Neptune, we are going to see something happen to Biden, he dies in office or whatever, is removed so they can bring someone new and roll out the next phase of their agenda to take down America. We know with the rocketing inflation, the sky-high fuel prices, all this is part of parcel of a plan, as was this whole green agenda and putting Biden in to dismantle America. And we know there's a certain hardcore group of Americans that aren't going to stand for it. If I can go to my next chart, which I might be able to do. I've also got here, this is the progressions. As you can see, there's Moon conjunct Moon in the progressions. Now that's a once in kind of 28-year occurrence, so it's shows that this is a particularly significant time, a groundbreaking time, okay, in America. So that's more confirmation that we are on the brink of something major in America. And if you look at the solar arc directions, a couple of really important things. Here we have solar arc progressed Mars, which comes from this house, the house of open enemies, the 7th, and also the house of war is conjunct Moon, declaring war on the people. Civil war, because Moon represents the people. And look, Moon rules the 8th house of conflict, strife, revolution, dramatic change, and also financial collapse. So I feel it extremely interesting here that solar arc Mars is conjunct Moon. And remember, Mars natally is in Gemini. We've got that duality, two different sides, one side against another. It also says to me this sort of civil war feeling. What we also have in this chart is, look what we have there. Solar arc Saturn is very near to Mars, triggering Mars again, which that could indicate war abroad, war in Ukraine, because Mars of war is in the house of war. That's why America's always been involved in these aggressive military stances. So that's a nod to war in Ukraine. And I don't know if the sun was doing anything. 18 degrees Pisces, I don't think so. There was one more aspect I wanted to have a look at here. Moon, I don't think the progressed Moon was doing much. No, it has already squared Pluto, Moon, Jupiter, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we got this Moon, Jupiter here is roughly square centered, but I wasn't thinking that was particularly significant. I'll just have a look down here and see if there was anything else I spotted on the Venus, Pisces. Yeah, well, Venus is square. Venus at here, 7 degrees is square. And I believe Neptune, 27 degrees, no. It was only Venus that was squaring. I don't think Neptune is particularly significant. There's nothing at the beginning of... So, there you go. Now, Alex Jones was suggesting that in this scenario, they might even remove Donald Trump, take him out of the picture. And I'm kind of wondering, although it is very conspiratorial, whether Ivana's death, which could have been natural, there's nothing that shocking of someone of 74 possibly has a heart attack, falls down the... there's other explanations, but, I would leave a window in my mind open to be suggested to that could have been something else, and maybe was a big sign to the Trump family, watch out. Watch out how you step. Don't take the wrong turn here. Don't pick the wrong side. So the bottom line here is something big, very significant, something that could spark civil war, and a military operation on domestic soil did happen at the Pluto return. So let's watch the next Pluto return, which will be late December at the exact same time as Neptune is opposing Neptune, for the end of Biden, someone else coming in, a very aggressive stance. The midterms obviously don't go their way, but they're removing the power of Congress to oversee military operations at home. And therefore it opens the door for a crackdown on maybe gun owners and moving it forward from there. So I think it's all to play for. In America, it's getting very tense. Anything could happen.